Raasheid is the founder of Enantra, popularly known as the Entrepreneurship Mantra, which is hosted by Capitalize. So, it is a recurrent entrepreneurship event which aims at envisioning and empowering the spirit of entrepreneurship and corporate play with a variety of events such as workshops, pitch fests, startup streets, networking dinners, and whatnot. So it enables students to push their abilities and work their potential to their fullest. So the first edition of Enantra took place in the year 2017. Good day to you, Mr. Rashid. So it is a positive delight to have got a chance to interview you. So myself, Divya S, representing the Guindy Times, the official magazine club of CG, ACT, and SAP. So before we formally get into the interview, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, so I am, as you said, I am Raasheid. I did my bachelor's of electrical and electronics engineering at College of Engineering Guindy from 2013 to 2017. So I was also the president of the Entrepreneurship Club from 2016 to 2017. The Entrepreneurship Club was called Capitalize, and then I along with a few of my other people from the club, as part of founders and co-founders, we founded Enantra.
Okay. So, as usual, what inspired you to set up a path for Enantra, or was there anybody behind you, or something that pushed you to start the event?
First of all, I would say it's not just me because the first thing, if you need to start an event, you need a lot of people around you. So uh, we did find out that around, I think around 2010, 2011, there was like a startup boom around Chennai. A lot of people wanted to do startups and all of that. Like we know, CG had TechFest, CG had Kurukshetra, like a technical festival. They had a cultural festival. So we wanted to have a specific entrepreneurship festival, and being in CG is like the hub to Tamil Nadu, like for all people. So if we have an event, we knew for a fact that a lot of people would come around, would start things around it. Because I do know for a fact after we started Anantra, a lot of other colleges started having entrepreneurship fest, small kind of management fest. So me and my friend, I need to mention his name, Lagapan Hari, both of us started in Anantra, and we also had another friend with me, Mansoor. So all three of us, I wouldn't say like I am the only person who started it. So we needed a lot of people around me, like those three people, and we had a huge team. We had like 100, 200 people. We didn't know, like we had people. I was in my fourth year. We had people from second year, first year, like all of us were very, very helpful. In terms of inspiration, I would say that we needed an entrepreneurship event at that time, and we thought we could start up something around the whole of Tamil Nadu or Chennai.
Wow, it was so it you was a kickstart to the entrepreneurship thing in college, and of course inspired many too. So, how did you build your team? How did you organize events, get ideas, and of course, the first edition itself was a big success. So, how did you manage all those?
First of all, we had this idea. I mean, before I stood for the presidentship of my club, we had this idea. So me and my friend, I said, both of us had this idea. So we thought we need to start it. And we kind of thought that it wouldn't happen, but then we just thought, okay, let's just give it a try. And then I have to mention our CD director. I don't think he's the CD Center for Entrepreneurship Development and University's director, Dr. J.G. Ravi Kumar, but I don't think he's the director right now. But he was very helpful. Like we wanted to start it out very small. We thought we'd have like very less events, small events, but then he said no, you have to do it big. So he wanted us to do it big, and he gave us all the support we could, and we had a lot of support from other people. Like we went pitched the ideas to like-minded people. So if you ask me how I build the team, because we had a lot of people in the club who want to start up a company, who want to start up something. So we thought, if you want to start up a company, let's start up a small event first. Let's see how it's going to work. So we kind of linked how an event should be started up with how to build up a company and everything. So that's how we got a lot of team. And one major culture we had in the team was like there was no code, there was no organizer. It wasn't like I am top, you're bottom. Someone could just walk up to me and just say, "Hey, I'm going to do this," and it would be okay with that. So that's something we wanted to have. Like I'm not sure what that's called. It was like a flat
Yeah, it's
hierarchical
no
system.
hierarchy.
Exactly. So we wanted everyone to be open. So, for example, if I was in the fourth year, if someone from the first year came and said, "Let's do this," what we would ask them, okay, it's all up to you. You can go recruit your own people, start doing it. Because all of us were experimenting at that time. But surprisingly, everyone was very smart. We had wonderful bunch of people. I cannot name everyone, but I mean, without, I would say, like, even if we didn't have one person in that team, we wouldn't have got Enantra how it was in the
Wow.
first year.
So that makes it different from other events that are taking place in our college. So what you had in mind when you like started Enantra, and was all those things achieved? Like were all those things achieved when you like you would have had in mind like all this should be like the all your benchmarks were achieved.
First of all, as I said, our our biggest the way we started was that we need to have like a very small event, but then because we wanted to go big, so I mean, our quotation or our tagline the first year ended up being go big or go home. So we wanted to do something big and all of that. So I think that was the first benchmark which we crossed. Like, we want to do it small, but we decided to go big. And also, as being part of the Center for Entrepreneurship Development, we had around, I'm not sure how many colleges right now, but we had around 543 colleges. We had the list of 543 colleges, everyone. So that was very easy for us to reach to. And we had a lot of people networks. We had a lot of people to help us with. And I think that was something we had. Uh, Kind of off the record, we also had a lot of issues, like, because when you start something new in
Yeah.
campus, not everyone's going to be accepting it. So we had a lot of issues with that. I mean,
So that was
we had
going to be my next question. What are the obstacles you faced?
okay. So, okay. I mean, I'll just answer your first question then. So
Okay.
in terms of benchmarks, we started by calling very good speakers. So that's something we wanted. Like, we wanted really good speakers. I mean, it might sound so stupid, but we had a specific team. We had like 4 or 5 people messaging. I know it wouldn't have happened, but we just wanted to give it a shot. We had people messaging Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg every day. I know it wouldn't have happened, but we was like, okay, if we try, it's gonna happen. If we don't, I mean, we'll just give it a shot. So that's something we want to try. We had a lot of problems with sponsorship and everything, but we are able to do. As I said, I would say everything is because of the wonderful team, the people, the ideas, and as I said, it was the first time, so we didn't have like a set of rules saying this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. Everything was like experimental, and I mean, I wouldn't call it was. It looked as if it was experimental.
Yeah, as you said, it is better to try and fail rather not to try itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on, what are the obstacles you face? Because starting such a big event is not at all an easy thing. So, how did you manage to tackle all those and then come up?
Okay. So I'm not sure about all the obstacles, but two major obstacles was that one, we it was very hard to push the idea into everyone into the college. I wouldn't blame them also. Like, you go to your professors, you go to the executives in the college, you tell them, okay, we had Kurukshetra Tech Fest, we're going to have another big event in Enantra. So in the back of their mind, they would probably be thinking, oh my god, it's going to be a big event, you're going to spend everything. So making them understand and push all of that was hard. Just to be pretty honest, I was pretty sure that even by even by the third day or the second day of Enantra, they were not happy with it, or they were not completely into it. So that was a big obstacle. I mean, my biggest concern when we ended the first edition of Enantra was if the second or third is going to happen. And I think the fourth, I completely lost track, but I think the fourth, I think we finished four editions
Yeah,
already.
yeah,
So I mean that is a big achievement. So
yeah,
that's my first
definitely.
obstacle. Second would be sponsorship, but I think because first event, Kurukshetra Techofest has a name and everything to it, but Enantra, it was hard to build the brand in the first day. So second was a sponsorship obstacle.
I'm pretty sure the second and third editions like didn't have sponsorship as a problem because it was like really too good. It went well.
Okay, interesting.
What are all the thoughts that were running in your mind before you took the first step for pushing the event? Like, were you nervous or were you optimistic? And
So apparently it was a mix of emotions for all of us. Okay, like, I mean, as I said, one thing, it wasn't just me who had emotion. I said I had like people like Alagapan and Mansoor helping us all the time, and we had a whole team who was almost equal, because it was like if something happens to them, the whole team took the blame, or something happened. So some days we had a sponsor who said, okay, we are gonna give you a huge sum of money. We got happy, and then the next day he pulls out. Like, all of us got sad. It was like that. Like, we used to be in the room, all of us used to be very sad. We used to talk to each other. We used to be like, okay, how can we do this? So So it was like a roller coaster of emotions, optimistic, sad. But then I was the most scared. I was very nervous on the first day of the event. I mean, the first day of the event, the inauguration, I was very, very scared. I mean, literally, I just came a bit late to the event. A lot of us were busy because we had problems on the backside. But the biggest, I was so nervous on the first day. But then the second, third, fourth, we just knew it started taking off.
So working in a team like seems to be so good where each of us can help each other and build each
Exactly.
other
Yeah.
up. So what was your greatest fear and how did you overcome that? This is like general, not specific to Enantra.
Okay. So my greatest fear. I wouldn't call that my weakness also. If you notice, I have a stutter when I speak. So I have had this since my birth. Like I have a stutter when I speak. But the point is I always wanna, like, I don't really wanna put it in the back of my head. So I don't really care if I have a stutter. But then I do believe at some places it matters. But I've been going for speech therapy. I've been practicing all of that. So that has been my biggest fear. But then I'm also kind of trying to put that as my biggest strength. So just to make sure that I don't really care about it a lot.
Yeah, that seems good and definitely that's going to be a strength too.
Hopefully.
Okay, so what according to you is being a good leader or being a leader itself?
That's a good question. So first of all, I mean, so I was so the people who worked with me, they used to call me a leader who used to be very friendly, very lenient with everyone. Like as I said, like we had a team, like we had people walking to each other. I was very friendly. You know, as just say, like I had other people with me who were also like very very helpful. So as a leader, I would say you have to be very friendly to people. Like you have your group. First thing, you're not supposed to I do think you shouldn't think them as your juniors, as someone in a hierarchy. Every Everyone is equal. Probably someone like 4 5 years younger than you is very very smarter than you. But you should be ready to listen to their opinions and like to understand that. So I think that's something you need to be ready to sit with them in the table, talk to them, understand if they have mistakes. If you need to debate it out. That's the thing. And also, one thing which I would like to add is, as a leader, I think you need to have a very a very strong element to it. Like if you stick to an idea, discuss it, and from your point of view, if you think it's not going to work, you can be strong to your point. You shouldn't always be, I wouldn't say you shouldn't be very lenient, you should be very very strong. There is a middle ground.
Just so nice to hear. And anything else you want to share with your juniors or budding entrepreneurs or anybody in that case?
uh, so as I said, after Enantra, I actually lost a lot of touch after 2018's Enantra, 2019's Enantra. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what stage. I'm not sure what stage Capitalize or Enantra is at right now. I mean, I would say, like, if you want to try something, just try. Just don't think, okay, I cannot do it. If you want to do it, just do it, because you're gonna have get that big thing you wanted for, or it's not gonna happen.
It's absolutely correct. So thank you so much, Rashid. Like it was really very nice to like spare your time with us and like, share
All
your
right, no
valuable
problem.
thoughts. Thank you so much.